well. But I want to start with somebody that's been – we had a bunch of conversations. You know I do news out here in L.A. as well. And one of the conversations we had is that as the Chiefs are in town here in Los Angeles getting ready to face the Chargers was, of course, with Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce isn't right now. Travis Kelce isn't putting up the numbers he normally does. And here's some sound of him talking about how he feels, how he's playing right now.
We're always constantly working to get better here. That's always been my focus. I think this year stats may say something different, but at the same time, you still see the same person inside this building, and that's all I care about. I'm my own worst critic. Everything outside of this building is just noise, respectively.
You know it's getting real when you start to talk about the person you are in the building. Martin, we going double dating, and you say, yo, Cal, man, what she look like? I say, hey, man, honestly, she's a really nice person, Martin. Then you're like, all right, hold on. Now, I do believe Travis Kelce is putting in the same work that made him an All-Pro, going to be a Hall of Famer. I do believe he's showing up. He's studying the playbook, all of that good stuff. But he's 35. He is doing a lot of other things, and at the end of the day, he's the focal point for this team. So at this point, they're double-teaming, they're triple-teaming him, and they're taking away his looks, so the numbers aren't numbering. But you know what it reminds me of, Martin?
What's that?
It reminds me of Shaquille O'Neal, prime Shaquille O'Neal with the Lakers. You remember what he used to do after he won a ring or two? Start coming in. I get there when I get there. What did he say? He said,
I rehab on company time.
I get better on company time. And I'm not saying that Travis Kelce isn't putting in that kind of work where we know Shaq wasn't at that time. My point is I think throughout this season, he's going to get better. Throughout this season, the chemistry will get back to what it needs to be with him and Pat Mahomes. Throughout this season, he's going to start to find, okay, well, if they're double-teaming me here, triple-teaming me here, I'll find other ways to get open, find other holes in the zone, find other ways to be effective. But I do believe it's going to be a Shaquille O'Neal type situation of, I'm going to have to do this during the season. I'm going to have to figure this out during the season, and then eventually he'll get back to at least a semblance of himself, maybe not what we've seen the last 10, 12 years.
Well, we're not going to see what we've seen the last 10, 12 years, but ever again, quite honestly. What we will see, though, is what see, Kelvin, I don't know. I'm from the South. I know you Detroit kids, Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yeah.
You may not know about this, but Toby Keith, Iowa Sam, I'm sure you're well familiar.
We know about, little Toby Keith.
Well, he said something that I take to heart as a 35-year-old man right now. I'm not as good as I once was. I'm as good once as I ever was. Now, if you want Travis Kelce to come out here and be Pro Bowl, All-Pro that we've seen the last, just 4 years ago, top of the league, one of the best tight ends literally of all time, you got another thing coming. It's not happening. Travis Kelce probably has about 7 to 8 great football games left in him. Here's the thing. It seems like nobody else knows that besides the Kansas City Chiefs and Travis Kelce. Like, do I think right now if Travis Kelce wanted to go out there and get 125 yards receiving and him and Patrick Mahomes just play buddy ball? Of course.
Right.
Of course. Check my watch. It's September 27th. The Chiefs are the way that they – you know what the thing that is important to the Chiefs right now?
I think I know.
Winning.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Period. Stop. Winning. The only stat that matters for Kansas City right now is in the win and loss column. They broke it down 3 ways. I want to win the division, win the conference, win the Super Bowl. Who cares about the Chargers, right? Who cares about the Raiders? Hell, I bet if you could somehow fake redshirt Travis Kelce until Christmas Day, they'd do it.
He's turning into what we saw with Gronkowski, where remember, and to your point, if he was at home having beers, Tom said, hey, man, you want to come out of retirement, come play a few games down here at Tampa Bay, come get a ring. Even towards the end of that run with the Patriots, he was banged up, he was missing games. But when you needed him, when you needed a big play, when you needed a big touchdown catch, Gronk was there for you, and special players can do that. So but I think ultimately what's going to be interesting is what iteration of the Patriots dynasty are the Chiefs about to become. And I said this earlier that there's a portion of at some point where you can say you can't just keep relying on the fact that, hey, Patrick Mahomes will figure it out, right? Hey, Travis Kelce will figure it out. And he may this year. But at a certain point, ownership, general manager, they're going to have to start bringing in some talent to equate with, all right, the league's catching up, right? The league's catching up. League's getting better. Josh Allen's getting better. Lamar Jackson's another year trying to do his thing, so on and so forth. We got to progress and start bringing in some better talent. We got to start doing our thing and not relying on just simply the system. So it'll be interesting to see, to your point, Travis Kelce doesn't have a lot left in the tank. We need to start developing and start finding out who and what is next.
See, but that's the thing. We're seeing it right now. It'd be one thing if the Chiefs were 0-3, right? They're not. They have the top 5 scoring offense, maybe I think 6th, no worse than 6th scoring offense in football right now. They go out and score 30 points in the blink of an eye. And without Travis Kelce, ostensibly, who has, 69 yards on the year?
That's right? A half sometimes.
All right, so Rashee Rice right now is 5th in the NFL in targets. They're not just ignoring, it's not that last year was Mahomes. Go figure it out. This year it's, all right, even though we lost our big offseason acquisition, Hollywood Brown broke his clavicle out for the year, right? We still drafted high talent here. We're going to build Rashee Rice, right? Part of the reason they traded for Hollywood Brown was because who knew if Rashee Rice was going to be able to play this year? Seems as if that's not going to be a problem. 3 games in, I'd be surprised to see it become a problem until it is next offseason. And you know what they're doing? Premier buddy ball. He's 5th in the NFL in targets. He's had, 29 targets in 3 games, right? So that's where they're going with the offense, and that's exactly what they're doing instead of force-feeding Kelce. What they are doing now, which is genius in my opinion, especially when you see a guy like Pacheco go down, they're developing rapport with everybody else. Because it's not like okay, you call it, this is the Shaquille O'Neal era. It's not like Shaq forgot how to roll to the basket, all right? It's not like Travis Kelce is going to forget in the playoffs how to get open on that 5-yard route, and everybody will be screaming at the TV saying, oh, my goodness, he did it again. Like, it's just not going to happen.
You know what else you do? I talked about when you're in a relationship, at a certain point, everybody carries a relationship, meaning, hey, right now she's busy. She's got this going on. She's maybe in school. She's got this extra job, or she's got the kids, whatever. And it's kind of your season to carry the weight a little bit more. Then maybe I got this job. I'm at FS1. I'm doing stuff Fox Sports Radio. Now you got that. Sure. She has to carry the job a little bit. The best thing to me also, on top of developing, Rice and some of these other players, is a defense has become, hey, we got y'all for a little bit. It really started last season. Yeah. We'll carry you guys as well. Because what we've seen sometimes, remember Peyton Manning's run with the Colts, we kept saying, man, if only he had a defense. If only he had a defense. And then finally they got a solid defense. What happened? They won the Super Bowl. And so now I'm looking at the Chiefs, I'm saying it's actually good to see that they don't have to be so one-dimensional. They don't have to be so reliant upon as you mentioned, Patrick Mahomes and Kelce. They can get it done need be. They can get it done, of course, those final big plays. But we've seen their defense be the ones making the big plays and getting the stops to win a game. We've seen Patrick Mahomes get it done when he needs to as well. So to me, that's just creating a well-versed team where they're saying, right now, as you guys are still figuring this out, still working the offense, the defense can carry the day. Started last season, carrying, they look good this season as well. And so to me, that absolutely leads to a team that's going to be scary, who already knows how to freaking win a close game. We can have 14 seconds left and win a game.
And see, that's the thing that I think that we're all like clamoring for that old thing back. Right, I remember that game, the Rams and the Chiefs, all those years back. Jared Goff,
going crazy.
It's the future of football, Kelvin. 54-51, the final score. No defense played ever. You know what they said? Okay, you know what? We got one of the best receivers in the NFL in Kansas City. We could pay him $30 million a year. No, we're going to go ahead and trade him to Miami. We're going to pay our quarterback like he's the best in the game, and we're not going to pay anybody else like they're not. We'll pay Travis. Right? Because at the time they made that deal, one of the best in the game. We'll pay Chris Jones.
Absolutely.
If not the best defensive tackle, top 3.
Aaron Donald going,
Well, Dexter Lawrence showed me something yesterday. Yeah. But, top 3 and not 3, all right? Well, we're not going to pay Tyreek, and we're not going to pay this guy. We know what we're going to do. We're going to draft all these corners. We're going to draft Trent McDuffie. We'll draft L'Jarius Sneed, and we'll let Sneed move on and draft another corner. Because we have faith in our organization and faith in our front office, and we have faith that the guy that we ultimately cut the biggest check to, who in football, the guy who has the biggest impact on winning and losing, will figure out a way to get it done. And that's what happened last year, and they're seeing the dividends of it this year, because now all those guys he was figuring it out with, they're now in the second year of a program, feel more comfortable. Like, it's crazy. Rashee Rice is 5th in the NFL in targets. Yeah. What?
No, you're right. And we saw the potential of that last season. Now we're seeing it manifest. The last thing I'll say here before we get to break, too, one of the best things about becoming so dominant, one of the best things about winning all the time is you start to become the boogeyman sometimes without having to do it. And at the end of games, teams start freaking out. They start, I don't want to. Coaches start out thinking themselves. Wait, I don't want to
breaking early on the ball for a pass interference.
Breaking early because I got to stop it. If I get this, the game will be over with. And you see that time and time again. You saw it if you want to go to the NBA. The Spurs would always do that during their run. They just found a way. They were poised. They find a way to win. You saw it happen with the Warriors run. You saw it with the Patriots run all those years. And you're starting to see that too, where the psychology is starting to be so great and in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. They're wreaking havoc on the rest of the league, even mentally. You love to see that if you're them as well.